Good morning, Year 4. We're going to carry on with our English, and it's a very similar lesson to yesterday. Our learning objective is to use text-type features in writing. And our success criteria, exactly the same as in yesterday's lesson. I am able to use the features to write the final 2 paragraphs of my myth. I can use the correct structure to write my myth, and I can make some quality language choices. So today is our final writing day. Yesterday, we wrote the first 2 paragraphs of our myth, and now we're going to write the final 2 paragraphs of our myth. And we need to remember to write about our problem and also about how we solve it. So this is the carry on from our example myth that we looked at yesterday. It's from Greek and it's about the Greek gods. So, in surprise gratitude, the Cyclops gave Zeus the spitting lightning bolt and deafening thunder with which to split the skies and flame the earth. They gave Zeus's brothers gifts too. On Poseidon, they bestowed a sharp, gleaming trident with which to smite the seabeds and raise massive waves. To Hades, they gave a helmet of invisibility with which to disappear. The 100-handed and one-eyed brothers fought beside their nieces and nephews. No longer was the battle simply hurling rocks and spears and crushing the enemy with axes. Oh no, Zeus hurled lightning bolts and burned the forests. He cast flames so hot the seas boiled and parts of the earth melted. Poseidon shook the earth so rivers crashed through the sidewalls. Hades raced unseen among all, causing chaos and destruction. So we're bringing in our problem. So we're going to do the same. Ooh, big screen. Got my screen here. So remember, my character was called Jake, and at the end of my second paragraph, him and his mother had just found the Hydra in the woods. So I'm going to carry on. Jake looked at his mother. Speech, so I need my first set of inverted commas. Shall we go and look at it? Question, so it needs a question mark. It looks sad. Close speech. And I'll put a picture of this up on the website as well so you can see it too. Jake's mother nodded. Jake's mother nodded. As Jake slowly walked towards the creature. Full stop. I'm going to have a bit more speech, so I need to use my inverted commas again. Hello, nice friendly greeting for our creature. Hello, are you okay? Question, so we need a question mark. You seem sad. Close speech. Asked Jake quietly, moving towards the creature. Full stop. And now I'm going to introduce my creature a little bit more. So I'm doing a Hydra, and so I'm going to think about how I'm going to describe what my Hydra does in reaction, because we know that it has the heads of snakes. So think about what snakes do. So I'm going to the Hydra, so letter, Hydra raised its head and saw Jake, comma, it bared its teeth That means it showed its teeth to try and be a bit threatening. It bared its teeth and hissed loudly. Full stop. So now I'm going to get Jake to maybe talk to the Hydra to try and calm it down a little bit because he's quite agitated, he's quite frightened. So we're going to try and calm it down so we can start introducing the next stages of our myth. The speech, so first set of inverted commas. It's okay. Close, I'm going to have some broken speech. Said Jake. Now I'm going to open my speech again, so use the 66 shape inverted commas to open our speech. We're not going to hurt you. Full stop. You're a Hydra, aren't you? Question marks. He's asking what he is. Closed speech. Now I'm going to bring in the Hydra, and maybe the Hydra can speak a little bit so we can get to hear from the Hydra what's going on. The Hydra nodded. Now the Hydra's going to speak. I am lost. Can you help me? And that's a question, so we're going to need a question mark. Close speech. The Hydra explained. Now might bring in our problem. Open speech. I've lost my tail. And I can't get home without it. Comma. Please help me find my tail. So we've introduced our problem, close speech, and now we're getting our character to help our creature. Jake smiled and nodded. Now Jake's going to talk, so I'm going to need some open brackets again. Open brackets, open speech marks. I'm going to say, of course, we will help you. Closed speech. He beckons, so saying, come up, come up. He beckons his mother towards the creature. So we have done the third paragraph of our myth, and I'll put a picture of this on the website as well so you can see it. And now we're going to move on to doing our fourth, just tripped. Now we're going to do our fourth and final paragraph. Here. So this is the final paragraph of the myth that we've been using as our example. So it says, as Zeus saw it, the war was old against young, and the young gods won. Zeus had the Titans sealed in the underworld with the 100-handed ones as guards. Gaia was flummoxed. What was the point of locking away the Titans? Why did Zeus have to be as vengeful as his father? So she gave birth to her last child, the monster Typhoon, or Typhon. From his shoulders sprang 100 serpentine heads with flickering black tongues. That's kind of similar to the Hydra, because serpentine means serpents with snakes. Typhon's eyes flashed fire. Everyone fell back in terror except Zeus. He had the lightning. He destroyed Typhon's heads and he banished him to become wild winds that cursed sailors on the high seas. Zeus was the undisputed king, so nobody would challenge him. The brothers divided up the universe. Poseidon took the seas, Hades the underworld, and Zeus everything else. The sisters were left out entirely, but that was typical of Zeus. He was brought up to believe he was entitled. Nothing ever changed his mind. So that is the final paragraph of our myth. And now we're going to write our one. Yeah. Going to flip this over. Flip it all over. It's a different colour pen. I'm going to write the creature smiled and nodded. And there are three of them. Remember, there are three. We've got Jake, his mother, and the Hydra. Then started to look for the Hydra's tail. Perfect. And now I'm going to bring in a bit of time. So hours passed and nobody had found anything. False comma. So I'm going to bring in a little bit extra here. A little bit of a shock. Ooh. I'm going to say when suddenly Jake saw something. I think how to describe a tail. Something shining in the corner of his eye. Full stop. He walked over and saw the tail shining in the setting sun. Stop. So hopefully if you've been listening along, you would have heard setting sun. And what sort of literary device is that? And if you said alliteration, very well done. So he wanted to carry on and get on to the part of our story where the main character is stealing or taking our myth. He wanted the Hydra to be happy, but he didn't want the Hydra to leave. And now I'm going to talk about the family. I've kind of swapped it around a little bit, but you're allowed to swap things around when you plan. I'm going to say, little did he know that the worry of the Hydra's family was causing the ground to shake and the wind to pick up. So by pick up, I mean gets harder, gets stronger. So put down there. Walking back over to his mother, Jake asked her if she'd found it yet. His mother shook her head. Full stop. Seeing this made the Hydra sad. So we've now got our myth. He's found the item, but now he's hiding it because he doesn't want the creature to leave. Jake's mother noticed something wasn't right. Now I'm going to have a bit more speech, so I need to open my speech marks, my inverted commas. You found it. It didn't you? And that's a question, so we need a question mark. Close bracket, close brackets. I keep saying close brackets, close inverted commas. Jake nodded. I'm going to carry on with the mother's speech. You've made a friend and you don't want to give it back. Back. Closed inverted commas. Jake nodded again. More speech, still from the mother. But you want it to be happy, comma, so you'll give it back. Jake nodded and walked over. Move the screen down so you can see. Over to the Hydra and gave it back. The Hydra is the end now. Hugged Jake and his before walking back into the forest. Never, oh, never to be seen again. Now I know that this looks like quite a lot, but remember my handwriting is quite large. So if you've written it, it won't be as much. So that's our myth. We have now written our myth. And we're done now. So we've written our first kind of go at our myth, which is brilliant. So hopefully on Thursday's lesson, we can edit, improve, add things, take things away to make it the best sort of myth we can. So hope you enjoyed writing that, finishing off our myth, getting it all written down. And I will put pictures of these on the website as well so you can see them. I can't wait to hear what sort of myths you come up with.